equipped suit for war, they left a green and pleasant shore, a different foe to fight, and it would test them to the core. Shackleton received the Union Jack from George V. Nations were in turmoil as the chance for peace was missed. World War I would soon wreak havoc as Endurance sailed away to meet her broken destiny in cold Antarctica. They left a world about to launch the war, to end all wars, and travel to the pack ice on Antarctica's bleak shore. Her engines drove her forward, but the ice closed on them fast. Their best laid plans went afterglee, by then the dice was cast. They drifted with the pack ice for 15 months and more. They would never tread Antarctica's bleak shore. Antarctica, the southern pole, you cruel and deadly place. Of compassion in your heart there is no trace. But beneath the grim facade, you exalt the strongest will of those you do not break and cannot kill. Life deals out a deck of cards, we wonder what is planned, but we take our chances when they rise and struggle with the hand. But a gambler has much better odds when throwing loaded dice than Endurance as she fought against 10 million tons of ice. Massive timbers broke and splintered and screamed in deathly throe. She was crushed beneath the pack ice, the men stranded on the floe. The pack ice drifted slowly as they waited patiently. The solid ice began to break as it met the open sea. They knew the deadly threat they faced to reach the ocean wide. Icebergs bobbing back and forth upon the ocean tide. The massive bergs would move apart and show an open stream, but the waves would drive them back again and crush a boat between. Antarctica, the southern pole, you cruel and deadly place. Of compassion in your heart there is no trace. But beneath the grim facade, you exalt the strongest will of those you do not break and cannot kill. They couldn't wait forever, for a berg might topple o'er. They had to go and take their chance and hope their luck's in store. Fortune smiled upon them as they passed beyond the floes, but relief, a moment's respite, nature sent them yet more woes. The current fought their every stroke to thwart their desperate plan. 6 days to travel 60 miles and reach the solid land. A South Atlantic island, barely 20 miles by 10, was where they beached their boats, and it became their humble den. Their feet had last touched solid ground upon South Georgia shore when they began their journey all those 16 months before. The island was a respite, a passing place at best, a barren, isolated place of rest. No one knew the men were there, no rescue ship would pass. They had to make their own way home, or else their hopes were dashed. He would take 5 men and brave the wildest ocean in the world. The chippy skill prepared the boat which through the ocean hurled. To find a needle in a haystack was easy when compared to find South Georgia Island and be spared. 800 miles to sail across the South Atlantic Sea. They needed luck and providence to see them safely free. He chose Worsley for to navigate. He found the needle true. Navigator excellent, saved the crew. Antarctica, the southern pole, you cruel and deadly place. Of compassion in your heart there is no trace. But beneath the grim facade you exalt the strongest will of those you do not break and cannot kill. 16 days across the ocean for the men whose hopes he held, and when they reached their journey's end, again their hopes were quelled. To Great Viken on the eastern side the boat they tried to guide, but Neptune forced the boat to land upon the leeward side. Just a few short miles and then they'd smell the whaling station reek. But between the men and rest secure South Georgia's mighty peaks. From the very jaws of victory, failure rose again once more. But 3 men set out once again to find the eastern shore. 3 men in weakened state would cross the mountains or would die. But a 4th man gave them mystic strength, they knew not whence or why. So Stromness whaling station was visited one day by heroes of an epic age who walked the dauntless way. His leadership had led them through, they simply called him boss. But on a distant Elephant Isle, his other men still lost. The ice turned back 3 rescue bids, but he returned again. Shackleton, the leader of men. Anxiety and worry for the men whose hopes he held, but the pack ice had closed in again. 3 rescue bids repelled. As May turned into August, the hopes of those he'd left behind gave way to thoughts the little crew had perished in the brine. But they survived against the odds and lived to see the day come true, when Shackleton returned to save his crew. His men were safe, his duty done, his head now held aloft. Against appalling odds they lived, no single man was lost. He did not leave them stranded, and the cry resounds again. Shackleton, the leader of men. Shackleton, the leader